Welcome to War Talk, Survivor Talk. Anyhow, few links down below as always in the description box to credit where I'm getting my info from, which is obviously from WWE. Again, there's the full video recap, and there's going to be the text results, which have the pictures and the videos all in like separate links and stuff like that. It's just kind of, boom, laid out there actually in reverse. So we're going to go backwards, starting with the actual first match. And it helps if I can find my notes, which is on the other screen, because I now extend my monitors instead of duplicating them. One thing I want to talk about really quick is how it was funny how I noticed in one of the Survivor Series 2024 promos for the poster that Cody Rhodes was front and center on that marquee poster or whatever. He wasn't a part of the match. Neither was Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, all that sort of stuff. Drew McIntyre, I'm not too sure what happened to me. Judgment Day, no tag team championship defenses. There's not always a bunch of matches at these PLEs, and I kind of wish that they did. Back in the day, I don't remember exactly how many matches there were, but I feel like there were more matches and there was less superstars, but I could be wrong on that. But let's finally get into it. Michael Cole and Corey Graves called the action for that night, which, with all due respect, I'm just going to be blunt. I'm tired of sugarcoating stuff. I'm happy it was them and not Joe Tessitore. I have nothing against them, but oh my God, I'm just saying. To try and be funny, Joe Tessitore does a good job of making me think sometimes that I'm losing my hearing. That's all I'm saying. The women's War Game match was the first match, and I'm going to tell you who was in it in case I forget some of the names. Candice LeRae, Tiffy Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jackson, Liv Morgan. They were defeated by Io Sky, Naomi, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. There was no animosity between anybody on their respected teams or anything like that. I thought it was great. It started off, again, as you know, for the War Games now, it's a double ring in a steel cage, right? Bayley and Nia started things off. Nia Jax seemed a bit off with the chair. I thought that was really interesting because it looked really awkward. Like, not her, but her use of the chair. It's like she was really going, which I guess better safe than sorry, because her track record in the past, you know what I mean, of injuring people. But as of late, like I said, I've been very candid in saying that she has been doing a phenomenal job. She has been playing her role like no other. Very proud of her. But those chair shots were very like, oh, did I get you? I'd rather that than an injury, but I'm just saying. Yeah, holding back, smacking Naomi and Bayley with the chair to the head, like I said. 43 minutes in, and War Games match technically began. Holy cow. The whole match itself, I think, lasted about 10 minutes. Then Rhea at one point was getting smacked up with the baseball bat. You could hear the slaps and all that sort of stuff. The Tiffy and Io off the cage, doing the backflip funky thing. That was quite something. And what was even more scary, and I do not have the cojones or anything to do that move. It's one thing to do that move to begin with. I got a hard time going up a ladder 4 steps to change a light outside. Is doing the flip, yeah, off the top of the cage in a garbage can. You have no sense of horizon or anything or where you're going. Holy guacamole. Like, that's the macaroni and cheese with the bacon bits. Because that was something else. And Rhea picked up the win, pinning the champ. It was basically a 10-minute match from the moment the actual War Games begins, which, like I said, I was very candid. I had forgotten that War Games is what happens at Survivor Series. They're not two separate events. You start off, it's a one-on-one, and then what ends up happening is 5 minutes after, then one competitor comes in, then I think it's like 3 minutes after, and it kind of like ping-pongs back and forth. That's where the advantage thing was kind of confusing me. I think what the advantage match did is it allowed for knowing who was going to go first. I think that's all it was. Who was going to get the first person out of their cage while they're waiting when the countdown goes down. Because then for like 3 minutes, it's going to be a 2-on-1, right? I thought for some reason that it was going to start off as a 2-on-1. Not quite. Okay, moving on. United States Championship match. Shinsuke defeated LA Knight, new champion. I'm actually really happy with this. So I love LA Knight. I think he's been doing great. Shinsuke, I always thought was special, but then again, I think a lot of people are special. I just wish everybody could have their flowers, but the garden's just not that big. That was actually pretty good. Made sense to me. Shinsuke is a 2-time U.S. champ going in, but now he's a 3-time champ. 3-time U.S. champ. It is his 6th Survivor Series. And it was a clean win, again, from a heel. There was no cheap shot. There was, at least not that I recall seeing. I mean, I blink a lot, but there was no, like, missed shot to the face. There was no, like, low blows like he's done to AJ Styles in the past. He was gone almost 8 months since April-ish, give or take. Comes back, new music, new look, new attitude. Picks up a championship. And I am just totally okay with that. Yeah. Braun Breaker retains in defeating Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser in a triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. Sheamus just has that one title that he's missing to become a Grand Slam champ. I thought this was a great match. There was huge Braun Breaker chants, which is really awesome because I've talked about this before. It is kind of rare in a way to get a heel, do heel things, say heel things, and actually get the crowd behind you to chant for you. I mean, yes, it does happen sometimes, but not too often. But I think one of the things that separates Braun from a lot of other people is just because he's a heel towards the people that he competes against, like how he was a little dirty against Jay and some other people and all that, Sami Zayn and whatnot, is he never ridicules the crowd. Shut up, you're all idiots. No, if anything, he's like, are the dogs barking tonight? You know, like he's enjoying, he's letting us know in a very subtle way that he appreciates the WWE universe. And to me, that is like magical. Just because you're the bad guy doesn't mean everybody needs to boo you. People respect Braun. He is just so unbelievable. The breaker flying in the air, tackling Kaiser outside of the ring. Then that flying clothesline. I think it was from like over the top rope or something like that. Or a suicide dive, which is in between the ropes. It'd still be a suicide dive if it's over the top rope. Anyhow. Just absolutely nuts. And in my humble opinion, it made, with all due respect, and I love me some Sheamus, it made Sheamus look more human. Because the whole Sheamus, the whole Drew McIntyre, they can look like unbeatable Terminators. And I feel like Drew McIntyre still has that, but again, with CM Punk can make him look more human. Not a bad thing at all. And again, this doesn't make them look weak at all. But it absolutely did make Braun Breaker look a little bit unstoppable. Yeah, so I really, like I said, just a whole card. I really enjoyed it, like, a lot. I wish there was more. I'm not saying I want the whole premium live event to be 5 hours long. That's not what I'm saying. But I really liked that 7 to 8 match format that we had. I can't remember. One of the last premium events not long ago had like 7 or 8 matches, and it wasn't all overly that long. And to me, it was just nice. But again, I think that's why they're bringing back as well Saturday night's main event. I think that's like, for example, where Kevin Owens is going to get a shot at Cody Rhodes. Like, you don't even have the champion at Survivor Series. Like, one of the main OG for pay-per-views that used to exist. You had the Royal Rumble leading into the road to WrestleMania, then SummerSlam, and then you had Survivor Series, and that was it. And it was always the traditional teams of 4-on-4. At least I think it was 4-on-4. Then we did the whole thing with the 2 rings together, which I really, really do enjoy. The only thing I don't like is I wish the singles match or the non-War Games match were allowed to be, in fact, taken to the other ring. But you can't quite do that because you're considered out of the ring. Whatever. So that's that. Gunther defeats Damian Priest. However, you could tell that he had some doubts in his eyes. There was a lot of great back and forth, but at some point, I got to take a sip here. I'm talking so much. You ended up having Finn Balor sneak in a coup de grace while Priest was on the outside laying flat on his back. Finn Balor from the top of the stairs jumped on Damian. I doubt that's what kind of finally did it. But Gunther actually got pissed off. And again, this is one of those things that I really appreciate about him and Ludwig Kaiser. They don't interfere in each other's matches. Super, super rare. And the last time that they went in and they double teamed on somebody with an unfair advantage was actually when Gunther got attacked first. That brought in Ludwig, and I think it was actually with Cody Rhodes. I really like that because it builds like your integrity. And then when you show blatantly, as Gunther did to Finn by kicking him in the face, you're spitting in his face, basically saying, I don't need your help. What are you doing interfering in my match? I don't need your help. I can do this on my own. The ring is sacred, blah, blah, blah. And that is what I appreciate so much about him. Mind you, it's all scripted. I'm just saying I appreciate it, right? So, yeah, for me, that was great. And then again, you had the distraction that led Gunther, once again, leading the choke on Priest as Finn Balor looked on and got what he wanted, which was screwing Damian again out of the world title shot. Which, I'm not going to lie, I think it's the right move. I really, really do think it's the right move. I wish, the post-match or something could have been with Finn Balor attacking Damian as Gunther walks away after the match. I know this is why I'm not part of creative, because I have some pretty shitty ideas. And then this is where, Gunther could be like, and then goes on and actually helps by kicking Finn in the face. So he still gets to kick Finn in the face. It actually helps Damian up. The noble gesture says, you know what? Good fight. You brought your A game. Just like he got into Kaiser's face and said, no, Cody Rhodes wasn't lucky. He was deserving. And that was just really nice to see. Right? Again, you could be like that heel, but still have some sense of humility. And then the main event. And it ended the way I was hoping it would end. So we had Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Jimmy and Jey Uso, Sammy Uso, and they defeated Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa. I told you, it's really confusing when one of these fuckers, yeah, that's right, the F-bomb, is their last name, but then the other guy, the last name is the guy's first name. I'm just saying, I sometimes want to say Tamaloa and Tonga Tonga. Like, it's just a tongue twister. And then Big Bronson Reed, of course, the Wolverine, the Samoan Wolverine, Jacob Fatu, who to me is like the prize fighter of that group. He's the Kevin Owens of that group, and I use that with the utmost compliment there. You started off Jey Uso and Tama Tonga. The advantage must have been knowing that Solo's bloodline goes first. Remember, I was still a bit confused about that. Advantage, yeah. CM Punk and Roman butt heads in the cage a little bit. Roman kind of going, no, he'll go first. And then when it was just Roman and CM Punk in the cage, opened the door, it looked like Roman was going to come out. Instead, Punk was like, move, bitch, get out the way. Pulled a Ludacris, and he just walked right out there. But in the end, it was great because at one point, never mind the notes now, this is speaking from the heart. At one point, Big Bronson Reed was at the very top of the steel cage, and he actually tsunamied onto the table. But Roman Reigns was nowhere to be found because CM Punk helped him, pulled him out of the way to safety, and then from there, Roman Reigns extended his hand, to which CM Punk accepted, because CM Punk, very set in his ways. When you, not cross him, but when he doesn't like you, doesn't want nothing to do with you. And even at the end, everybody was getting along. CM Punk, Roman Reigns looked at each other, said, you know what? Then again, Roman Reigns extended his hand first. Everything was great. There was no bickering between, well, there was bickering, but there was no fist fights. And I'm glad that that didn't happen, because we don't always need extra drama. Then at the end, at one point, you had the OG bloodline, right here, and then CM Punk, well, I guess camera's reversed, right? Was back behind Roman, and there was a small part of it, I don't know why, I was expecting one of two things: for CM Punk to take a shot at Roman, and or Drew McIntyre somehow coming out from behind and clobbering Punk. I was just expecting a little extra drama. Not saying that that needed to happen, by the way. I'm just sharing with you what was going through my head, but none of those things happened. I was also wondering if The Rock was going to come out like he did a Bad Blood. He did no such thing. I don't know if he was going to come out and maybe try to interfere. Again, it's a good thing I'm not a part of creative, because I come up with some really wonky fucking ideas. But I'm allowed to roleplay that in my head, where The Rock comes out. Maybe he's the one that closed off Roman Reigns from being able to get into the ring, right? Because Solo Sikoa did that. So you could have had maybe The Rock doing that to add a little bit of fuel to the fire, and then in return, who comes? I don't know, Stone Cold Steve, just somebody from The Rock's past, and then they start doing stuff. I just thought that would have been something. Even Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, Rock. Oh boy. Again, this is why I'm not hired by WWE. But I feel like I really do enjoy sharing my thoughts of, oh, what if this scenario played out this way or something like that. Doesn't mean it's necessarily a good idea. They're what I call knee-jerk reactions. They're just in the moment without giving it much thought. How would this make sense? I mean, again, like I said, The Rock, that would have made sense because the end result would have been the same. You still have Roman Reigns and his team win, but just a few little minor details to kind of poke the hornet's nest again. Have somebody else lock up the the cage, or little action like that. Because again, The Rock did come, and now it's where is he? When are we going to see him next? Saturday night's main event, Royal Rumble. I don't know. I don't think Saturday night's main event is being looked at as a PLE though. That's another thing I have no idea about. And if whether or not one of my greatest commentators of all time across all sports, Jesse the Body Ventura, is going to be there. I think so. It makes sense if he is. So if that's not a PLE, I think the Royal Rumble's the next one. Because, I mean, we're the day after Survivor Series. We're December the 1st. Oh my God, we're a month away from the Royal Rumble, from the new year. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Anyhow, sorry for all the rambling, but like I said, making these videos, I really, really enjoy making these. Even though you already probably know the results, you're just hearing some old dude on YouTube with a couple of thousand subs just rambling off about, my take and kind of narrating the results. But I always try to kind of insert a little extra, what was my take on it? What were some of the highlights that I enjoyed, that I appreciated from each match? I try to do that to kind of keep it I wouldn't say the word entertaining is appropriate, but a little bit more informed rather than just, so Braun Breaker, he did good. Yeah, he beat those two jabronis. And? You know what I mean? I feel gotta add a little bit more. And, oh, what if that had happened? And, oh, I appreciate how there was no cheating from this heel or just, right? I feel like I gotta throw those in so it's not just reading from my own notes. And you would be surprised, like I said, these kinds of videos, and when I just calmly, casually play some 2K24 or another wrestling game, just how much I love doing that. If I could do this full time, and kind of almost drop my other channel. Not so much drop it, but not pay as much attention to it. That would be my dream. For this one to be making me the money that my main channel is making me, and my main channel to be making what this channel is making me, just to kind of reverse the roles. You'd be surprised, even though the money would be the same, the stress level would be different, completely different. But anyways, that's another discussion maybe for another day. As always, I hope you're all doing well. Seriously. Thumbs up. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I think it was a couple of days ago here in Canada. We celebrated in like mid-October, a couple weeks before Halloween. I celebrated again. It was an excuse for me to do the turkey dinner and the stuffing, and anyhow. So yeah, thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with that algorithm. As I've said before, it's a lot more than just a happy feel-good moment I get from seeing 2 or 3 likes on a video of mine. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally that would be great. If you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your ass. And while it's there and you're laying your back on the table, yeah, that's right, we're going to switch it up today. You're going to get the big Bronson Reed splash with that thumb, your thumb. And then, right, big Bronson Reed flapping on top of you on the table. I'm trying not to envision that. That is disgusting. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you really, really soon when I play some 2K24, because that's really exciting to watch me talk and play that game. Probably tomorrow during the day at some point, so that I have like a follow-up consecutively each day. I want to be able to post something. Not just for the sake of posting, but because, like I said, I do enjoy it. All right, that's enough. Bye for now.